Welcome to the Trailchasers podcast.
This episode is presented by Nexen Tire. The Rodian MTX tires really came through on my unexpected off-road adventure this weekend. When you need to get yourself out of the dumb thing you just did, go to nexentireusa.com. And by Icon Vehicle Dynamics. With the proven performance of the Icon suspension, you can tackle obstacles knowing that your rig will stay firmly planted no matter what the terrain is. If you want to know what this feels like, go to iconvehicledynamics.com and get Icon equipped.
Today on the show, we talk about the Bronco 2. Why? Who knows? We also make fun of Cody's high school attire. This is some good stuff you will not want to miss. And that's a Matt D money back guarantee. Not that you paid money for this stuff anyhow. And we discussed doing a COVID-19 Mojave trip.
Cody was the poor man's version of AC Slater of Ontario High School.
You guys suck. I was cool.
It's time for the Trailchasers podcast. Are you ready? Let's begin. Trailchaser, let them chase your adventure. Trailchaser, your time is now. Get out there and chase your adventure. Get out there and chase your adventure. Get out there and chase your adventure. Get out there and chase your adventure.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 123 of the Trailchasers podcast. We are, again, doing remote recording. Matt, Jose, and I are each in our own prospective studios / bedrooms / closets or whatever. And we're getting started. How you guys doing tonight?
Jose, you still in the closet?
I never got out.
Oh, I thought you got let out. Never mind.
No,
my bad.
I'm in there still. I'll let you guys know when I come out.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it's not whatever. No big deal. No big deal to me. I don't.
Of course not.
There is. Speaking.
So we're
of,
doing good. I'm going to say we're doing good tonight.
Speaking of which, there's a new show on, or I don't know if it's new, but there's a show on Hollywood. I mean, on Netflix called Hollywood. It's a really interesting show. If you have any concerns about closets or what should be in or out of the closets, do not watch it. I'm just telling you up front.
So you watched all the episodes?
I watched every bit of it.
Why is that the only show playing on all your TVs at the house?
It's a very interesting story about Hollywood in the 1940s and stuff that was going on back then. Yeah.
What were they doing back then? Can you say? They're making movies, right?
They were making something. They were making something. And then there would be a camera there every once in a while.
Oh, okay.
All right. So
a lot of things are going through my head, but I can't say them. So
yes, you definitely cannot. You definitely should not say them.
I shouldn't.
No,
I can, but I should.
Are we? Do we have an overseer that monitors our podcast?
Yeah, he's sitting right there.
Yeah, he's actually right there.
Well, that
fun police.
That leads right into our first topic here is listener feedback. So in response to last week's episode, which by the way, I don't know if you guys noticed, but the Jeep community was not much of a fan of the title of that episode.
Oh no! They came in strong.
They came in hot with the comments and feedback on the on the Wrangler, and we got an email from Dirt Minions 4x4, and he says, "Just to educate you a little bit about Jeeps, it's a well-known fact in the Jeep community that a Jeep will often revolt against its owner for improper use. Jeeps are made for actual trails with actual obstacles." Taking a Jeep on a gravel road you guys typically refer to as, quote, trails, will make the spirit of the Jeep angry, and it will rebel against the owner. A good rule of thumb to keep in mind is if a Ford Ranger and a Nissan Landscaper can successfully manage a trail, the trail is an insult to the Jeep, and you are at risk of insulting it. You wouldn't take a Clydesdale to a pony ride. Don't take a Jeep to a wussy ride.
I wouldn't take that Jeep on a highway either if it was raining. That's the thing.
I wouldn't take it to the drive-through
But
car wash either.
That logic just said still translates to I still wouldn't drive a Jeep.
Yeah, I don't.
I wouldn't drive it on a road because there's Nissans on that road. You know.
Yes, Dirtman is just again a perfect example of the Jeep community not being fans of our episode, and kudos to Joe K for letting us bash him in his Jeep for a while, and he took it like a champ and let us do it. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. All right, we got a review. Jose, you found this one. You want to read this one?
Yeah, this one came in from Easy Like Sunday Mornings, 5-star review. It's titled Off-Road Shenanigans. And he says, or they say, an eclectic group of automotive enthusiasts sharing their life experiences on and off the trail. The exuberant amount of knowledge that is shared by Jose is well complemented by the Maverick Matt's whimsical demeanor. Oh, and Cody is there too.
What kind of bullshit is that?
Am I whimsical?
I guess. I mean,
dude, I would rather be whimsical than just like a side note. Like, oh yeah,
and Cody. I guess
Cody's there. And then there's this one guy. I can't remember his name. That's some crap right there, you guys. Why do I not get any respect for this show?
Because you're the fun police.
Yeah, it's better than the comment we were throwing around. What was that on YouTube last week or the week before? The guy compared me to Homer or something like that.
The guy said, "Oh,
I like Homer Simpson."
Yes, that was
screw you.
It was hilarious. He said he just caught one of the episodes of the video feed, and he was like, I really thought the Nissan guy would look more like Homer Simpson.
Yeah, exactly.
I love that he refers to you as the Nissan guy.
Prediction: that guy lives in Hemet. The guy lives in Hemet. He probably drives a Jeep.
Oh, and he's unhappy with you.
That's right.
And he's like,
screw that guy.
Screw that guy.
I'm gonna get him.
I'm gonna show them.
All right.
So, well, we appreciate the
thanks for that review,
and the feedback, and whoever it is that's just full on stroking Jose's ego, stop, please.
Whoa!
Well, I didn't know where we were going. I was like, wait, what?
I don't know what you call it. I just ego.
Oh, gross.
Yes, it is.
We haven't heard from him in a while. Al from New Jersey.
We have not. I wonder if we offended Al from New Jersey.
I don't think so.
He's had enough.
Yeah, I forgot about it. Al from New Jersey. There's a couple people that we've talked about recently about that were heavily engaged, and then recently they've been completely off the grid. And I hope that means they're okay and they just got tired of us and stopped listening, and not that they're, having problems with all the stuff going on in the world. I would prefer them to be healthy, happy, and just not like us.
Exactly.
So, hopefully that's the case, but I'm sure, I mean, we see rises and falls in download numbers and engagement. And I'm sure there's going to be people that, just looking at the reviews today, when you sent me that review, we're at like 4.8 on the reviews because we have the one unhappy 1-star dude about, and then we had two 2-star reviews, I think.
Yeah, I think that one where that guy was pissed because we have like influencers, too many influencers.
That was the number one. That was the guy that gave us the 1
that was
star.
the 1-star?
Yeah, I tried to, I don't have iTunes, so I couldn't find it, but I'm sure there's some 2-star reviews there driving it down, but whatever. Guys or people like Easy Like Sunday Morning makes it better. So other than that, no, I take that back. Easy doesn't make it better because he's bagging on me, and I have needs too, and I'm not sure why I'm the brunt of all the jokes.
Somebody has to be. Somebody has to bear the brunt.
Okay. All right.
it's your turn that time.
It just seems to be always your turn, though.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. So the other day on the road, I saw one of those. You know how you see vehicles that come in driving down the road that have all the stuff all over it, like the coverings on it, because they're prototype vehicles.
The camouflage.
Yeah.
The landscaping tools?
No, not the Nissans. So I saw one on the freeway with all the different like camouflage, and it looked really cool under there. And I filmed it, and it was a Hyundai. It's the Hyundai pickup, and you guys won't be able to see it, I don't think, but I'm going to play the video on the YouTubes if this works, but.
Sounds great.
So I shouldn't mind, but you can see it's a 4-door.
Sounds good.
It's a 4-door pickup, and I think it is and it said Hyundai on the side thing, and I think it's the Hyundai, what they're calling the Hyundai, not Santa Fe, Santa Cruz, Hyundai Santa Cruz.
I see you still haven't washed your truck.
That was when I took the video. I have washed the truck since.
Oh, okay.
But it looks like Hyundai is making a 4-door unibody Santa Cruz, like I don't want to call it a Ridgeline, but I think it's along
it's like
the
a
same
Ridgeline competitor.
Yes, on the same lines. But it looks, based on the pictures and what I saw under camouflage, it looks pretty cool for, I think, what it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? For being a mostly street-worthy.
Yeah, that thing's not going off-road.
Now, you want to hear something messed up? I hear Icon already makes a suspension for it.
Oh, man.
Man.
Shots fired. Oh, dude.
I need a little salt for my beer, dude.
I don't even know where to go with that.
So what's the deal with the Santa Cruz? Does it even come with 4-wheel drive?
I don't know. I was going to ask if you guys
like
had heard anything about it. And part of the reason I'm asking about it is because the Hyundai Palisade is the same as the Kia Telluride, and those two SUVs this year have been killing it. Like the Telluride and the Palisade have been up there on top SUVs of the year and quality and the whole deal. And Hyundai, I remember when Hyundai first came out in the early 90s, and it was a $3,000 throwaway car, right?
They were like shit boxes.
They were. It was a 4-door craptastic. And but you look at Hyundai.
No, they stepped up their game for sure.
Huge with the Genesis line and all the stuff that they've done. I am really curious to know what a 4-door unibody Hyundai Santa Cruz would do to the I don't say market, but the niche, the off-road niche, if it came with 4-wheel drive.
So there's a YouTube channel called Primal Outdoors. It's just a guy and his dog in the Pacific Northwest, and he took a Telluride. Mm-hmm. I think they did like an overland build.
Oh,
and
really?
He had it for a while. Yeah, it's pretty much it was like a spacer lift, some off-road tires, and just pretty much just like some drawers in the back. But I mean, he hit the trails with it. I mean, he hit some pretty. I mean, he was towing an off-road trailer.
Yeah, the LG ECTS team made a couple of those Kia Tellurides for SEMA a couple years ago, and they had a full-on obstacle course outside of the SEMA showroom doing it. And my understanding is that they were really impressed with those vehicles.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have a true 4-wheel drive transfer case. It's kind of like the Subarus, where it's like an all-wheel drive with like terrain management system.
So is the Grand Cherokee and the Renegade and a bunch of those other new vehicles.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, he hit the fire roads with it.
What was the name of the channel?
Primal Outdoors. Yeah, he started off. He's a photographer / videographer. He started off with like a F-250, an old one, like a V10, hauling his off-road trailer.
Does he sing like country songs too? Because so far you talked about some dude and his dog and his truck. All I got to hear now is
It's like, oh yeah, and
His wife
he's
left
a
him.
good country singer as well.
His wife left him. That's why he's traveling the world.
Oh, you found the channel?
I did. Yeah, I've seen him before. I don't know that I've seen the Telluride build, but I have watched some of his show. He did his own build of an off-road trailer. I watched that.
He just finished converting a Econoline van to 4-wheel drive.
Oh wow!
So he's living out of a van now.
By the river?
down by the river.
Beat you to it.
But yeah, it's a cool YouTube channel. You should check it out.
Yeah. Again, so I just
Kind of dog does he have?
I don't know. It looks like a sheepdog / mutt. I don't
Yes.
know.
Okay,
Good
good to know.
I just saw. I brought it up because I saw it and was curious to know if you guys had seen anything about it.
No,
I think there's a sleeping giant in that market, like the crossover fire, adventure builds.
Mm-hmm.
I think if like
Is
Subaru
is that what a fire road is? An adventure
Trail?
road or something? Yeah,
I guess I don't know, dude. I'm just saying, like
No, but
the cross, like the cross trek builds, and I think if more people started wheeling like RAV4s, like all those in that category in that segment, I think if there was like aftermarket support, I think it would blow up.
And I think the new Cherokee needs to be in there too. I know when it came out, a lot of people bashed it, but I'd be willing to bet that used car prices on those things are coming down, and you'd be able to get a used Cherokee Trailhawk for a good price and be able to go most of the places you want to go.
Those don't have a low transfer case.
Yeah, they do. I'm pretty sure they do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they have the Trailhawk with all the mud and the snow and all the all that stuff.
Yeah, I know those have a rear locker too. The Trailhawk.
They can, yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at some used ones here online for 15, 16 grand. You know what I mean? It's
Of course you are.
I'm just saying I pulled them up to see if there was any there that are reasonably priced. Here's a 2014 Trailhawk for 19 grand. So 19 grand, you can get a Cherokee Jeep SUV and go wheeling all over the place.
That's 18,900 more than I would pay for it.
Why?
Well, I can't even drive it in the rain.
Well, the Cherokee. I'm not talking about Wranglers. We're not talking about the Wrangler. The totally different vehicle.
I'm just joking.
But I agree, Jose. I think that there's a adventure vehicle. I like the way you put that, adventure vehicle market that's yet to be dominated by any one brand. Right? You've got Subaru.
If I had to choose one, Subaru's probably leading the way on it.
You think?
But yeah,
I think we're more in tune with it because we see more of it. Because
but there's a lot of aftermarket support for those. Like, there's not enough for like a RAV4.
No, the Renegade. The Renegade has enough to.
Oh, the Renegade has a good following too.
The Renegade. I bet the Compass. Some of those small crossovers. I think that people will one of those crossover vehicles, whether it be this new Santa Cruz or something existing, has got to bubble up to the top to be like the premier adventure vehicle. But nobody's really trying to do it. Maybe Toyota will with the RAV4 TRD off road.
I mean, it's out. There's no difference from like.
Is it out already? I thought it wasn't coming out till next year.
Yeah, it's out.
Oh
no, it's out. I mean, there's just like nothing. There's no difference. They have like an adventure model, which is I don't even know why. It's just like a certain color different, and it has like a certain mode, like a mud mode or something, terrain mode.
Mm-hmm.
And the off road is the same exact thing. It just has off road tuned shocks. That's it.
I thought they were going to do a TRD Pro version.
Mm-mm.
No TRD Pro on the RAV4.
No.
Interesting. Okay. Well, moving on. I wanna talk about Gnarls Barkley at Cleghorn.
Yeah, so we talked over the weekend, and you're like, I got to tell you something on Monday. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'll tell you on Monday. And that was it. So what happened?
So our friend Joe, not Joe K, Joe P, our friend Joe, his wife Trisha turned 40 on Friday. And she wanted to go out and just get some dirt on the tires. And Joe hit me up on, I think, Wednesday, Thursday, and was like, hey, we're thinking about running to Cleghorn. Do you want to go? And I was like, yeah, if I can get the time off work.
Joe has a second gen Tacoma, by the way.
He does. He has a second gen TRD Sport. And I said, have you checked to see if Cleghorn's open? Because last I heard Rangers were turning people around. But we looked on the website. It was open. So Friday was...
Chuck Norris was turning people away?
Yes. Chuck Norris was giving people knuckles. So Friday, you know how I feel like lately Fridays, and maybe it's just because of this work from home thing, no one's trying to get out of the office early on Fridays. I think now that everybody's working from home, like Fridays don't matter. And my Fridays, every Friday explodes. Like everything has to be done Friday. And I don't know why. Even when I've got it scheduled to be a mellow day, it just explodes. So I was still able to pull it off. And we left here around, Tammy Presley and I left here around noon, grabbed some lunch, went up to Cleghorn to meet them. We met on the 15 freeway side and headed up. And it was cool. It was Cleghorn. You know, it was a nice day. It was beautiful. We're cruising around. And there, you know, you guys have been there enough to where you know how you're cruising up the road and then there's a little side shot off to the right, and you can bet with confidence that if you go up that side shot 200 yards later, you're going to drop back down on the main trail, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of offshoots like that.
Every time you can bank on it 100%.
Not this time.
Except this time. So Joe was leading for a while and I was cool with that. We're cruising around. It was like, you know, whatever, we're just going this direction. And then somehow I ended up in front, which again, I don't know how many times I have to say it. It's just dumb. Why would anybody let me lead? And we're driving and I just started using OnX Maps. And interestingly enough, they sent an email today talking about, hey, did you see the cool new blue trails on our maps? And I happened to notice on Friday when we were driving, there was a blue trail and a green trail running parallel to each other. If you were looking for a mellow cruise, guys, which one would you take?
Green?
Yeah.
I was gonna say blue.
Really?
Yeah. That's pretty much standard. Like if you go to like skiing or you see those trail signs, blue is like the easiest one.
No, that's green as go.
Green, yeah, green, blue, red, black. I don't know. Okay, my logic. I saw a green one and a blue one, and the green line is pretty much a straight shot, and the blue one is wiggly and all over the place. So we get
so stop giving me all that shit you guys gave me when I'm like, hey, if we turn here and go up the freeways right there. Remember on Pioneer Town?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, this is super short. It's right here.
No. So and Tammy,
it was a 2,000 foot incline within less than a quarter mile. That was insanity, is what that was.
Oh, that was.
Should have put guardrails on that shit.
That was nothing, dude. That was nothing.
Oh my god!
So we get to this fork in the road, and I had Tammy looking at the map just to see where we're at because we were trying to figure out how much further we had to go. And I just see this offshoot to the right that looks kind of cool, and I go on it. It's the green one. Tammy says, "I think you're supposed to stay left." And I was like, it'll just dump us over here. It's just going to go a little bit, and then we'll be right back on the main trail. It goes. They go the same direction.
I was sitting in your truck.
My
at that point.
God! and I won't tell you. I won't tell you.
There's got to be video of this.
Yeah, yeah. You have like 18 cameras at once going on in there, and like
I won't tell you that came up
screens.
multiple times after the fact. So in her defense, I should have stayed left, and I didn't. And this trail, like you know how you're wheeling and you're like, oh, this is fun, this is challenging, and then you're like, this is this is going to be a challenge. I'm not sure exactly how we're going to get
Why are
through.
you sweating while you're driving?
And I'm like, I'm not, this is going to be a challenge. But as soon as we get past, it's Clayhorn, right? As soon as we get past this has got to be it. And then the next one
usually
comes.
those offshoots are like 500 to 1,000 feet long. Like they're short.
This one, it's the end of the trail, like toward the last couple miles of the trail, and it veers, and it was
that's hilarious, dude.
Wicked, dude. It was freaking wicked. Like we wheeled down this this.
Is that the pin? Is that the pin you dropped on the Google Maps?
Yes. On the Google Earth. So that's
Google Earth.
Yeah. So if you here, I'll put it up on the screen for the viewers. So if you we're coming through here, normal trail, and I veered right here, right. You can see the windy trail that goes down. So we cruise this area here, and you're like, hey, that's not that bad. And Google Earth does not do it justice. But we came down this one trail here that was in a major valley. And when we got to the bottom here, Joe doesn't know this, so hopefully he doesn't listen. But he was in front, so I was guiding him through. And when we got down to the bottom there, he got extremely off camber, and I jumped up and grabbed the back of his truck bed just to make sure. And I was hanging, literally hanging off the back corner of his Tacoma just to make sure. And so we got through that, and we're like, okay, that's good. We'll get through there. We get cruising again, and we get down to a couple rocky spots, and then all of a sudden we get down to the bottom here, and literally, like, from where we're at, the main trail is 200 yards away, if that. And there were boulders, like 37-inch Wranglers with rock sliders. That's what you would need to get over this thing. And we were at the point. The girls were already panicked. They were completely freaked out. And we were at the point where it was like, okay, well, our options are try to take this short route knowing there's going to be body damage because there's no possible way. Neither one of us have sliders. We're both on 33-inch tires. There's absolutely no way we're getting through this next 200 yards without body damage, or we got to go back. And when we got to go back, there's a couple hill climbs we're going to have to go through that I don't know we can make. Well, no, I will take that back. There was never a part of me that thought we weren't going to make it. It was...
No, but going unscathed was the question.
Yes, it was how much body damage are we going to get and how much crap are we going to get from the passengers in the cab.
The Frontier would have made it through.
So we turned around and we headed back. And there were two spots where...
Oh, you headed back.
Yes. Yeah, we're 2 hours in now. Like, I mean, as far as the veer.
Yeah, you're committed, dude.
So we went back, and then we found another trail up here on this ridge that we're like, oh, sweet. And we're on the phone looking at it. We're like, sweet, this one will go straight to the dirt, right, straight to the road. And you look at it, and you're like, wait a minute, it dead ends what appears to be 20 feet away from the road when you're looking at it on the phone, but you can't tell what the elevation is. So I'd be willing to bet, I'm looking at it now, it dead ends 20 feet from the road, 3,000 feet up. so that one wasn't an option. So we turn around and we go back to where we were on the main trail, or on the trail, which is right about here. And I literally started hiking through the bushes because at this point now, the main trail is about parallel in height, the same height we're at, and it's about 50 to 100 yards away to our left. I literally hiked through the bushes thinking I will machete my way through the rest of this forest to get us out of here so that I could just... Because this is a disaster. It's Trisha's 40th birthday. She's in a panic. Tammy is not happy. In her defense, she kept her cool the whole time. Fortunately, Presley was oblivious. She was watching the phone in the back, didn't even care. But there was no possible way, even if we bush bashed, even if we crashed through the bushes, there was no way we were going to get through there. So we went back, and
all the way back,
all the way back to the last point.
Oh, that fork in the road.
Yes, the fork in the road. So those 2 hill climbs and a couple obstacles that we went up really solidified my faith in that Ranger. Like, I mean, if you guys remember when we did Akatia Wells and I was in the Tacoma and there was that one hill climb that we're like, I don't know, let's go see where it goes. And the Tacoma just went and did it.
Yeah.
The Ranger did the exact same thing. 4 low, put the rear locker on, and just pointed. And I kept it steady and smooth. Tammy jumped in the backseat with Presley. And we made it up that hill and we got to and I was like, okay, we got the first one done. There's one more and it's even bigger. And it was one of those ones where going the first 3/4 of it was no big deal. It was pretty straight and rutted, but at the top it turned and there was rocks and ruts. And so you're already committed. You're already at the top of this hill. Then you got to start rock crawling. And I was like, I'm going to have faith in the vehicle. I have faith in my driving skills. And we pulled it off and got out and drove back to the main fork and turned on the road. And then it took another 15 minutes to get off the trail, but we wasted probably 2 hours going all the way down and back in these obstacles. And the thing was, and like, I feel like I know Cleghorn pretty well. We've been there a lot.
You also said that about Pilot Rock, and you're like, yeah, it's it's not easy or it's not hard. It's pretty tame.
So, moral of the story is, I don't know anything about anywhere we go wheeling ever. I marked it, Jose, because I want to go back. I want to go back because Jose, Joe, and I even said, like, if it was just the guys, we may try this, knowing that there's going to be body damage. And this is just that much more solidifies the need for sliders on my Ranger. I feel so vulnerable on that rocker panel. When I had them on the Tacoma, I was like, whatever, I'll just bash into stuff. I don't even care. Like those, I'd slide right over it. And now not having them makes me feel like I have anxiety about bashing.
Vulnerable. You're vulnerable.
Yeah. So I need to.
Yeah, I think everyone's first 2 mods should be tires and sliders. Mm-hmm. To any off-road vehicle you're going to do, tires and sliders before lift and before everything else should be your first 2 upgrades.
Yeah, 100% agree. And I'm on the hunt for a set of sliders, trying to figure out what I'm going to do to protect that. Because if I had the sliders, if we both had sliders, we probably would have just, slid our way over a bunch of those obstacles and been.
Yeah, you could use the sliders as a pivot point.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But in that section, had we gone through there with no sliders, there was no way we were coming out unscathed.
That's crazy, dude.
It is.
Wow.
It is insane. Again, like when you look at the trail maps up there, I feel like we've been around a lot, if not all of that spot. And then all of a sudden you see something, you're like, wait, where did that come from? I didn't know that existed. You know what I mean? So I think that there's way more exploration to do up at Cleghorn to really get a feel for,
maybe there's just somebody crazy that, what's the term you just said? Bush bashed. And
yeah.
they just create new trails. Just go up there with weed whackers and sharp knives and just screw it. We're going this way. And they spend a weekend just creating new trails. I don't know.
Well, what's funny is there was one fork in the road that
probably a bunch of dudes in Nissan Frontiers with all their yard
landscapers
tools. Yeah, all their landscaping tools.
Exactly, has those pickaxes, and
there was a point where we came up to a fork, kind of by where that dust bowl, where the big bowl is, and we went one way and we started going, and I went, nope, I remember this. About 300 yards up, there's a huge drop off. Remember, Matt, you drove my WJ over it, and I was like, no, we don't want to go this way. This way is easier. And then I ended up hosing us, and I ended up getting us stuck. And it was like Tammy said at one point she had resigned to the fact that she was going to sleep there. And
really, oh wow.
And I was like, well, here's the other thing is. We're at a couple different points where Joe and I had to hike up some of these hills just to see what was there.
You guys were prepared, right? You had like sleeping stuff. And
yes,
like food,
we had we didn't have anything. We barely had enough. If we had to sleep there, we wouldn't have had enough water. But But
Wow.
again, so my point, there was never a point that I thought we weren't going to get out. It was whether
No,
or
it was
not we
just-
were going to get
it
out
was,
without damage.
Exactly. What was the extent of the damage?
And
gonna
whether
be?
or not I would still be married at the end of the trip. That was questionable for a good portion of this. But
So did you take any damage?
no. Turning
Is the truck okay?
truck's totally good. But turning around and going back,
Still says Ford all over it.
Yeah.
and It still has all the badging and
well,
junk.
here was my
Should have hit some of those rocks to knock the badges off.
here was my thought. Like some of those descents that we came down were gnarly, but Joe and I had the conversation that because we came down those, I feel way more confident being able to go back up them than what we saw ahead of us with those rocks. And I've always felt like going up an obstacle is easier than coming down an
Oh yeah,
obstacle.
dude. Going
Yeah,
down,
yeah.
going down is the worst. Going down something is way to me. And I don't have that much experience, but for me, it's always felt sketchier going down something than going up it.
Yeah. Well, and I think that the funny thing is I told Tammy that. I'm like, you know what? The good thing is I've always felt way more comfortable going up obstacles than down. And she says, good, because we have a lot of obstacles to go up right now. She knew. But the moral of the story, a couple morals here. One, don't ever let me lead. That's just stupid. Two, I should probably pack camping gear everywhere I go because there's a good chance I'm going to get lost. Three, the trail map at Cleghorn is way more, I think, vast than we know, and we got to go map that stuff out. And then four, happy birthday, Tricia. I'm sorry that your 40th
Happy birthday!
I told her at the end of it, when we got down to the end, I said, I just want to tell you one thing. I don't care what Joe has planned for you for the rest of the night. It will never be as exciting as what I just gave you.
Whoa, that's not weird.
I thought it was funny.
Sorry, Joe.
Yeah, I don't know if Joe should beat you up or.
Oh, he could totally beat me up. Anybody could beat me up. It's not hard. But it was really cool. Again, I think if it was us and we were properly equipped, that gnarly section we went through would have been fun. And even getting back there and turning around again like we did would have been a good time. But we were trying to get out because Tricia had dinner plans and I had the girls with me, and it was just supposed to be a quick, easy day run.
Dinner plans, huh?
Yeah, I guess her. Yes, it was actual dinner plans, Jose. Actual dinner plans.
I just want to know what restaurant because I want to go.
Yeah.
Um,
Dinner plans where? Like
at
somewhere in
their
Arizona? Or
no,
something?
at their house, they were having dinner made. I think like one of her family members was making dinner or something and dropping it. I don't know.
Whoa.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
I thought you were going to say like catered. And
They're like an Orange County couple, right? That makes
that's
sense.
true.
Yeah,
that's
Orange
true.
County.
That's what I heard about.
Orange
That's what I hear
County
about
people.
Orange County people. The restaurants come to them now.
Oh wow!
They just bring their own ovens and everything. They don't even have to let them use their personal ovens.
It's COVID ready.
So that was my adventure on Friday, and that's what I get for leaving work half day to go try to have some fun. It ended up being a complete.
You want an off-road challenge, huh?
Yeah. But again, the positive side is I feel really good about the way the truck did. I feel really good.
I was gonna say, I'm like, well, you got to see what your truck can do. It's like a double-edged sword. You're like, well, now what else can it? Like, how far can you push it?
Yeah, and you never know until you start doing it, right? There's always that level of anxiety when you're on a trail ride and you're like, oh, there's an obstacle coming up. Well, I was at a point where I didn't have an option. Like, the option was go that way and get smashed, or go this way and possibly get smashed. So this one seemed less likely to get smashed, and I just had to do it. And I'm super happy again with the way the truck performed. Those tires, that suspension, that 4-cylinder turbo, I absolutely love it, and it just made me that much more appreciative of the truck and its capabilities.
I've actually been meaning to ask you, like, what's your, like, just a quick long-term review update, like, because you've had a chance now to wheel it pretty hard now from this past weekend. and drive it around a lot. What's your long-term update so far?
I'm very, very happy with the truck as a whole. It's very comfortable. It's easy to drive on the road. It's comfortable to drive. I can drive it back when we had driving, like when people would commute. I could drive it all day long and not get worn or feel fatigued. It's comfortable. It's got all the amenities I want it to have. And then it has done everything I've asked it to do off-road and then some. With the exception of having body armor in the form of sliders and bumpers. There's nothing I did in the Tacoma that I haven't been able to do in the Ranger. And I've been able to do it more comfortably. And I feel like the drivetrain in that truck is head and shoulders above what my Gen 2 Tacoma was.
Yeah.
And that's, 80-90% of the driving that we do is on Southern California roads, or minor trails or stuff. We're not rock crawlers. We're not, even though some of the stuff I did this weekend was pretty hard. Most of the stuff that we do, 90% of the time, it's perfect. There's probably going to come a time where I will hit some limitations on a trail because of articulation. For example, Joe P sent me a picture of my truck with a wheel up going through an obstacle, and there's not that much articulation on the back end of that truck. You guys saw it. You drove on it. Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't
even sorry to cut you off. Even this past weekend when we went wheeling, like I saw one of your tires go up, and it wasn't even like a huge obstacle.
Yeah, no,
it's like going off a curb.
Yeah.
When you were turning hit that little pebble.
It doesn't have a lot of droop, and I don't know. I should try pulling the sway bars out just to see and driving around and see if it does anything. But
I think it's just the geometry of the Ranger suspension.
It just doesn't have the droop, especially on the rear end, that some of the other vehicles do, and I get that, and that will probably be a limiting factor somewhere down the road if I push it. But I think for what we have done up to this point, including some of the stuff we did at Hammers, including hitting the sand at 60 miles an hour through whoops, you know what I mean? It has been fun to drive and not been disappointing in any way.
Nice.
Good to hear.
Yeah, I mean that thing. I think it showed its value, or it impressed me definitely at Hammers going through that sand section. Just anywhere in there, being able to maintain speed and that thing was impressive. It was impressive.
Yeah, I totally love it. Totally love it so far. Jose, you talked about my truck being clean. So I took the truck to the dirt stripper here in Norco, which is not to be confused with Jose's college nickname of the Dirty Stripper. So there's
it's the filthy stripper. Get it right.
there's a one of those do-it-yourself pressure washer dealies here in Norco that I've been going to since 2001. I go there all the time. And so I took it there and I roll up, and the owner, who I've seen a bunch of times, and he has a TJ, he sees the truck and he's like, "Hey, do you want hot water for that?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, look, I'm not going to do it in the normal bay. I'm going to take it over there to the big rig bay with the degreaser and everything." And he's like, "Yeah, cool, no problem." So he and I got to talking. I ended up giving him a card and invited him to go wheeling with us. But I took it over there, and they have the degreaser and hot water. I opened the hood, sprayed the entire thing. And you know what? I even sprayed the crap out of my engine, and I got it all wet inside there. Truck still turned on. So
roll the dice.
You're not bragging or nothing.
Ouch. So the but I cleaned the crap out of the damn thing and ended up talking to the guy, and I was making jokes as I was writing the show notes about the dirty stripper, because they call it the Dirt Stripper is the name of the place down in Norco. So shout out to Garrett at the Dirt Stripper. But with that in mind, Oregon has a strip club that offers drive-through dancing and carry-out food to go. It's a whole new world, guys. It is a whole new world.
We're trying to flatten the curve. They're way ahead of it.
They're in 2024. They're
Right.
How does that work? How do you drive through strip club and get some food to go?
There's only one way to find out.
I
There's
don't know,
only one way to
Portland.
Road trip
Yeah,
to Oregon.
trip.
Hey, Dave from Oregon. We need a man on the streets report from honey.
Yeah, get out there, Dave.
Honey, the guys have asked me to go check this out.
They're making me go, honey. They're making me.
I don't want to do it. Show
I don't even want
content.
to do it. Gross.
Oh, that's so funny. So they're apparently they wear masks and gloves, and that's probably it. I mean, when you think about it, but
Good enough.
you can roll through and get. This is in Portland. It's called it's promoted as food to go, and I saw it.
What?
and
They have good steaks.
nobody goes to Hooters for wings.
Do they serve wings at Hooters?
I don't know. But there's a section in this article
Is
called
there food there?
There's a section in the article called PPE and pasties. So that's what you got. I mean, I thought it was hilarious, man.
Wow.
That's pretty funny.
Anybody in Oregon?
Oregon would be like super conservative, or not like that.
No.
They have that whole thing of keep Portland weird,
Yeah. Portland's way on the outskirts.
They're on
Right?
the fringe for sure.
Fringe. So it's called the Lucky Devil Lounge. If you're in Southeast Portland, go check it out and call 951-394-DIRT with a
Better yet, take some video.
the field
Take some
report.
video and send that video.
Tag
to
us
Matt
in your
at
stories.
Trailchasers. If it's good video. If it's bad video, send it to Jose at Trailchasers.
Well,
Send all the video to me. I'll hand it out.
yeah,
to you guys.
define good and bad. I mean, that's a whole.
You know
nother-
what? That's what you'll that's when you'll find out what people think about you. Like, oh, this is a horrible video. Why would you send it to me? And then there you have it. They know that's what they think of you. So
Just keep your standards low, bro.
yeah. Oh well, yeah. Always. I don't have any.
What standard?
Yeah. Let's set some standards.
You'll never be disappointed.
So the next time we're in Oregon, we got to swing by the Lucky Devil and check it out, or not, depending on who's with us at the time. So, did you guys see there was more conversation about tire pressure? We talked about it.
Oh no.
We talked about it. I did this specifically for Matt, but Four Wheeler Magazine has a whole thing on tire pressure, about how much tire pressure to run, and they did the Matt's not even looking. Matt's refusing to look. But they did the footprint. Remember, Matt, we were talking about putting chalk on the tire and driving it. They actually did that.
Never.
They,
I'll never do that.
They actually
I don't care
did
if my
that.
life depends on it.
And you could see the difference between 25 psi, 18, 9, and 5. They're running on beadlocks.
Look, we hit upon that. Like, look, the contact patch is going to be smaller the more PSI you have.
Yep.
Wait a minute. So who did this study?
This is
Motor Trend, you said?
Four Wheeler
It's
Magazine.
Four-wheeler.
We're all running really low on content these days, with the COVID stuff. And this is how desperate everybody's getting. They're chalking their tires for what? To like mark their footprint or patch or whatever. Oh my God, guys. Let's
really surprised me.
You know what? Let's go to
was
that
that-
strip club. Let's just do that instead. If I get laid off, that's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing.
Road trip. No,
Yeah,
again,
gotta do it.
Go ahead, Jose.
Oh, no, I was going to say, sorry. What surprised me is that they fit 37s into that Tacoma.
Yes. I think it was a solid axle
Yeah.
swap.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, anyways, I did it.
Did they fit them like they mounted them to the Tacoma, or did they just lay them down and slide them underneath the?
No, dude, this thing's like chopped and
Wow.
like they definitely took the Sawzall to the fenders.
Okay, well, whatever. I think that's what was the quick. The conclusion was you're gonna get better gas mileage or something. What was the reasoning?
Oh, I didn't read the article.
Oh,
So the article I read,
yeah, I wasn't gonna read that shit.
I provided the link. That's enough.
Oh no,
No. So the article I read on Popular
Last
Mechanics,
thing I ever click on.
is like the benefit you would get from airing up, like overpressuring your tires, is offsetted by the wind resistance that the truck body is going to create going faster.
And now somebody's listening to this going, didn't we cover this last week?
Yeah, it's like, wait, is this a new episode?
I just wanted to bring it up for Matt's case. See, we're not the only ones having this conversation, right? There's people at Four Wheeler Magazine that get paid to create this kind of content, and we already did it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but this article is talking about the benefits of going lower in air pressure. It's not the benefits of airing up.
Yeah, this is put beadlocks on your truck and go down to 5 psi and you're golden. But
yeah, and you'll crawl over everything.
Yeah.
The tire will just bend over everything. But
yeah,
we were talking about airing up at 45 psi or whatever compared to what the manufacturer suggested psi.
Yeah,
Matt, your thoughts?
I don't know. I'm reading the comments. Somebody's asking me to put a mask on.
I saw that. Can you have Matt put the mask on, please? What is it? Who's RAF 62 SS and why have you made them mad? Why would you want to cover up that sexy beard?
I don't know. Maybe that's just something kinky or something. I don't know. Hey man, if you get it here, I'll wear it. I don't care.
Everybody has a price.
$20 is $20.
$20 is $20.
Yeah.
Super chat $20 to Matt real quick. He'll take his shirt off and put a mask on. He'll put whatever you want.
I'll wear the mask backwards if you want.
Yeah.
Whatever you need me to do.
You need to take your Green Frontier sticker club. And then remember back, I don't know if you guys did this, but I did back in the day where like you would not only cut the sleeves off your t-shirts, but you would cut them all the way down the sides.
Oh, you were that guy.
I was totally that guy.
Cut? Oh my God.
Oh, dude. Yes.
I want nothing to do with you.
You cut those shoulders out all the way down to the bottom.
He's like, why even wear a shirt at that point?
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding
were
me?
Biff in high
I was
school.
totally Biff. So yeah, because I was when you're skating or whatever, like that was I totally it was as close to a
I
toga.
didn't skate with those guys. I
Oh.
skated with the guys who kept their clothes on. Those are the kind of skaters I wanted to hang
Well,
around.
back then I was toit. I was fit. I was sexy. I wanted to show that off.
I've always been chubby when I was younger, so I put like a sweater on. It was like 90 degrees and shit.
No, my chubby just didn't come till later. But Matt, that's what Matt needs to do. Matt needs to cut that shirt all the way down to the sides there, to the bottom,
And put like a deep V.
a deep V, yeah, all
like
the
a
way down.
Super deep V.
And you would just see the sweater I have underneath.
It's a man sweater though. It's a real human sweater.
That's right. I come out of the pool and like I bring half the water with me after ring out.
Do you shake like a dog?
You're like Sully from Monsters Inc.
I don't know. Yes. Was he like a hairy monster?
He is a big hairy monster.
He's a big hairy monster, dude.
It's like me. Yep.
Oh, that's funny. I can't believe you guys just gave me crap for that. I didn't realize not everybody did that.
Bro, that's a douchebag move.
Look who you're talking to. I walk around wearing trying to cover up as much
I'm trying to cover up
body hair as I can. And I got a big giant gut, so it's not working.
exactly.
I
You
got
got
do
this
it
guy over
now.
here.
I was
You got this guy over here.
14. I was talking about when I was
Biff
a kid.
Biff Tannen over here.
I'm trying to change the timeline, Biff. Stay away from the DeLorean, Biff.
Oh,
Nobody wants your casinos around here, Biff.
oh man, you guys suck. You guys.
I bet you even took those jersey shirts and like cut them like right above his belly button. It's like why, like why even wear the shirt at that point?
Are you talking about half shirts?
Yeah, you're like yeah.
I had some of those.
What's wrong with those?
And my favorite pair of pants was those. I think they were Jimmy's.
God.
The ones that had the the two Velcros on the side, like that kind of parachuted out.
Wow.
Yeah, and they tapered down at the bottom.
What?
Yeah.
Hey, why don't you wear that half cut shirt now?
because I can barely get these extra large shirts down past that part. The shirts I have now are half shirts by accident.
Well, yeah, I know exactly. I got shirts from like 2 years ago that are like half shirts on me now. Dude.
Yes.
I wear them around the house. Mommy likes them. At least I tell her she likes them. You love it.
Yeah, I still fit into my high school clothes.
2 pairs of pants, 1 leg in each. And the other legs just flap. Nice.
Oh crap! So I think the point is that we're old and fat, and it sucks.
That's the point. Horrible.
Oh man, that's not at all on topic. I don't know what happened.
Right.
What?
I like when we make fun of you. That's always a good segment.
I'm good with it. It's easy. It's super easy. That's why.
You just got to talk about yourself. Yeah, that's it.
yeah. I don't. It's not even intended. I just tell a story, and you guys make me realize that I'm dumb.
Dude, you were bragging about wearing half shirts and sleeveless.
I did not brag. I just said that I did it. I recognize there are a lot of things I did back in the day that were not as cool as I thought they were. Remember when we take?
Hey, I bleach my hair, so.
Oh no! I need
enough said.
pictures of that.
Wow.
Remember when you used to fold your pants over and roll them up on the bottom? Did you guys do that?
Yes.
Yeah. See,
Yes.
that everybody did. Well, Jose, that was 15 years before your time, Jose. You were still wearing onesies and crapping on yourself. That was junior high school.
I wanted to be like Eminem, bleached hair and.
Oh, were you were a Slim Shady wannabe?
No, I didn't want to be a white rapper. I just liked the hair. I was like, that's cool. Let me just put this like whatever they used to like some stuff, and it smelled like peroxide. It's not peroxide. It's like this stuff burned your head, dude.
That sun-in stuff?
No, it was like
bleach.
It wasn't bleach.
Oh, bleach.
It was a stuff you mix in with like hair dye, but there was no hair dye. You just put this stuff all over your hair, and it just burned. Dude, it burned.
Oh,
it burned your hair.
Okay. So for next week on YouTube, all 3 of us have to bring an embarrassing picture of us from like junior high or high school, and I'll put them up on the screen.
Oh yeah, so I have a picture of me the first time I ever got drunk. It was with a tall boy. I knocked out, dude, and I still had like the top half of my hair bleached.
Oh man,
I was like 16, dude, and I was knocked out. It was pretty funny.
Did you? So you bleached? You just went all the way to the bleach. You didn't like frost the tips, I got
frosted tips because they grew out eventually, and I stopped dyeing it.
Casey did that. Casey did the blonde hair for a while. Casey did.
No, but I went all the way, dude. Like it was totally bleached.
Yeah, so did Casey for a while, short period of time.
But when I stopped doing it though, my hair would grow out, and then I had bleach tips for a while.
Oh, man, that is funny.
Yeah.
Oh crap.
I don't think I could find any photos from high school, honestly. Like, we're talking about actual photos. It's not like I'm going online looking at something.
Well, for you guys it would be rock tablets, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Talking about etching.
Yeah. Wall paintings.
Yeah.
From high school. It was like I went to school with like junior high kids. We all went into one classroom.
Brontosaurus.
With Laura Ingalls. There was one teacher. Yeah, that was a long time ago. I have photos.
Yeah. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if we grew up in the digital age? Can you imagine thinking about the crap that we got away with? Like, it's got to be so hard for kids to get away with stuff now because it's posted everywhere. We did stuff that, like, you couldn't even explain it to someone's parents if you tried. Like, you couldn't get in trouble for it because no one could corroborate it.
Yeah, those are the good old days.
I know. That was awesome.
Yeah, I was listening to like I think it was a podcast or something today, and they were talking about a lot of things, universities and stuff, because you're learning online now, and a lot of it's being recorded. And the professor was talking about how you kind of need to watch how you contribute in that way, because in the future, like AI is going to be able to. Like if somebody's going to try and hire you or you're going to apply for a job, they're going to have some kind of AI go back through your internet history or just any footprint that you've made, and anything that you've said in these classes or whatever could potentially be held against you.
Well, they do that now, dude.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of deepfake stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a program like
I'm not really here right now. I'm deep fake myself. Really deep.
Yeah,
that was pretty good, Cody. Cody just went like, "Come on, dude." That was funny.
how
no.
deep?
No.
I can't, dude.
110 edit point.
It's not like we're in the studio and it's just me and you, Jose. It's like there's people watching.
Wait, what?
You gotta watch.
You're right.
Cody's there too.
So how very uncouth of me.
So maybe you do want to watch that show, Hollywood. Just give you some pointers.
Well, what's your favorite episode?
What channel?
It's on Netflix.
How many episodes?
I don't know.
How much time do we
It's
have?
like sadly only 8.
Hey, let's wrap this up, guys. I got
show research to do.
I got strip joints up in Oregon to research, and apparently a TV show I gotta watch.
All right. So I don't even know how to segue into this, so we're just gonna do it.
Segue alert.
Segue alert. The last time we hung out with Joe K and Justin, they were talking about you guys. We were all sitting around talking about Justin needing a vehicle pretty soon. He's in a couple years he's gonna be driving. And I was suggesting the WJ, and my wife was behind me saying, no, don't do it, because she still has nightmares about our old WJ, even though I loved it.
What happened to that Jeep, by the way?
I ended up selling it to get the Tacoma.
That's not what I was trying to get you to say, but okay. The engine blew up.
Again, that was my fault. I don't know how many times I have to say this. That wasn't the Jeep's fault. It was my fault.
Why was there a lack of oil in the engine in the first place?
Because I didn't check it and it had a leak.
Oh, shit.
So anyway, that's another
Sounds like a
story.
Jeep thing.
Story for another time.
I feel like we've made enough about that.
Yeah, that's a dead horse.
Yeah,
dead.
That's low hanging fruit. Shame on me.
Yeah, like we've already raised the level of tonight,
and
that's lowering, going back down. To exactly pick those fruit or kick those rocks.
Yes.
And sorry guys, I brought the level down. I'm sorry.
Yes, and Joey Mendoza is joining us in the live feed, and he built Granzilla, this really beautiful big WJ. It was featured in SEMA, and he knows the pain. So, so anyways, after that,
owning a Jeep.
Yes. And I was scrolling around a little bit on Craigslist, and I found a couple vehicles, and one was a 99 Ford Ranger extra cab 4x4, super clean, for like $4,500, and I shot that over to Justin to have him look at it. And then I came across a 1985 Ford Bronco 2. Do you guys remember these?
My friend's dad had one.
So I came across the Bronco 2, and I remember how much everybody hated them back then. But this Bronco 2 was in great shape, and I just started going down a rabbit hole, and I found again on 4-wheeler where they took a 1985 Bronco and for $3,000 all in built it into a trail rig. They bought the truck, they upgraded a couple things, and they started wheeling it for $3,000.
Dude, that was Clay Croft's first off-road truck.
Was it really the Bronco 2?
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously they're old, right? When did they stop making them? Do you know?
I don't know, early 90s maybe? Late 80s? Early 90s?
Is that the OJ Bronco?
No, that's the little mini one.
This is the little brother of that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was the little, in the it says it was from 84 to 90. It was when after the first classic Bronco, and there was the gas shortage and all that stuff, and in the 80s when they were downsizing the Mustang and downsizing everything, they made this little Bronco, and then from there in the early 90s they went back to the full size. But I mean, it looks like a you could probably pick them up for super cheap. It's got a little V6 in it, and for a couple grand you could probably go out and wheel and have a good time in it. You know what I mean? I just, like, again, thinking about our conversation last week about how the new Frontier will spark sales of the previous version and the new Bronco may spark sales of the previous version. Like, I'm wondering if if there's any value, if anybody is looking to the Ford Bronco 2.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Well, it's just not very I
concur.
I mean, you look at the specs from the article, right? It has a Dana 28 axle, 7.5-inch rear end. It's stuff like, I mean, there's guys that wheel the crap out of Dana 30s, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if a lot of this stuff is like internet talk. It's like, oh, dude, you don't want to wheel on a Dana 30. But then you hear stories of guys that's all they've ever wheeled is a Dana 30 in the front and a Dana 44 in the back.
Yeah, I never replaced a front axle on any Jeep I've ever owned. I mean, they took me anywhere I needed to go.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like, it's all hearsay, right? It's all internet forum talk.
Well, and I'm sure there's some value. I mean, some validity to it, right? I mean, the Dana 30 is going to be weaker than a 44 based on the design. That's obvious, but weak enough to where, what do you have to do to break it?
And I don't know. I don't know if the Dana 30 is any weaker or stronger than Toyota IFS. I don't know which one's better or which one's worse. I mean, Casey he knows that guy that races the hammers on the Dana 30, right?
Yeah.
He's like hard set on making it be known that he's on a Dana 30 front end.
Well, I'm sure you can trust the 30 and put like chromoly axle shafts and make it stout.
Yeah.
Look, I finally figured out how to open up that link to this article. And all I gotta say is I'm just looking at pictures and shit, and they just showed like, here's the battery. So that doesn't impress me that much. If you got to show the battery of the vehicle,
they were just saying it came with one. They had to put a new one in.
There's only two pictures on the article.
One's a battery, and the other one, peeking up.
There's 19. Matt, if you click the link on top, it says see all 19 photos. There's 19 photos there. Only one of them is the battery. The rest of them are all the other things that they did to it.
Show me, like, if you're gonna have 19. But the two prominent ones are one of it sneaking up from behind some rocks, and then batteries. Why would you even take a photo of a battery?
Because they put a new battery in as part of the build, I think, is what they were saying.
I'm going to close that window and just pretend I didn't see that. That wasn't. So I remember those. I remember those Broncos. So they were solid front axle, I guess. You're talking about?
Yeah, but it's a crappy front axle. It's like a weaker one is what it comes down to.
So what's the point of making front axles if they're known to be crap? Like, was it just a cost effective thing back then? It just seems like if you're going to make something with a front solid axle, like that's almost like an intended buy, oh, somebody's probably going to, like the logic from somebody who doesn't have a ton of wheeling experience. If I'm going to buy something purposely that has the solid front axle, I'm thinking, oh, I want to be able to be pretty capable. Why have something weak like that? Is that a flawed logic or
no? I don't. I think it's the engineering of affordability and weight, right? So if you're going to build a Wrangler that's got its primarily rear drive, and it's going to need a solid rear axle to handle the payload and the blah 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 blah. Well, it also needs a front axle. 90% of the people aren't going to wheel it. That Dana 30 is going to be fine, right? And I would argue that 99% of the Dana 30s out there are going to be fine for what people use them for. There's a very small percentage of people that are going to need an upgraded front axle.
Was this a transitional period as far as four-wheel drive where like independent front suspension or IFS wasn't that great or at that time? So if you wanted four-wheel drive, that was all you had?
Yeah.
Again,
back when IFS first came out, it was for cars. It was for comfort and on-road capabilities. It was not made for off-road. And that there's the old school guys that still believe that IFS isn't strong enough. And then now you're seeing that I don't know, Jose, is it a majority of the Ultra 4 cars?
Everyone is heading that way.
Yeah. The IFS, now that they're able to build them to the point where they're as strong or stronger than, say, a Dana 30, Dana 44, that the limiting factor isn't their strength anymore, and you're getting way more articulation and drivability out of an IFS truck than you are a solid axle.
I don't know if it's the articulation part of it, but it's definitely the handling and drivability part of it.
When I say articulation, like with a solid front axle, if one wheel, if your left wheel goes up, your other wheel has to do something, right? They're
connected.
Whereas if you watch some of those Ultra 4s or those Baja buggies going through the rocks with the long arm IFS, one wheel can be tracking on flat ground, the other one can be going up and down, and they're never losing contact with the wheel that's on the ground never rotates up onto its side, so it's staying stable, right? So there's
and that's the argument for IFS. And like you're not, what one wheel does is not dictated by the other wheel.
Correct.
And you kind of want that if you want good vehicle dynamics, right?
Yeah. So Jose brought this up, when we were talking about the Land Rover, about the IFS and the IRS and where we're going with all that. And if you look at many of the Ultra 4 vehicles, most of them are IFS,
IRS.
Yeah. There's a couple, Eric Miller comes to mind.
Not all of them, but
there's a couple that are still running solid front axles and staying competitive, but it appears that,
the trend is going towards like IFS, IRS setup.
Yeah, and what's funny is I was watching, I think it was on YouTube, and it was like the X Sports or something, and it was a recap of the 2020 King of Hammers, and there was a comment in there, and I think it was from Lauren Healy. It may have been Shannon Campbell, but one of them was saying that they remember they went out on their first King of the Hammers, and the vehicle they drove was $50,000, and now the vehicle they drive is $500,000.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude.
It is the amount, the money in the development and build of those Ultra 4 cars is astronomical.
It's getting to the point of like a Baja series, like those Baja trucks, like the Red Bull and like monster truck, like they're like almost $1 million truck. You're racing, and like at what point is like, when can guys like you and me, like us? There's no way we could ever enter even the Everyman Challenge in Hammers. Is like, you still have to dump in like 50, 60, 75K to get into that.
Yeah. Casey and I, it's been something that we've been talking about for years, and something I still hope one day is a thing, but I don't know.
Speaking about Casey, I mean, I don't know. Does he want to keep that a secret of what he
I don't
bought
know.
this weekend?
He's in the chat.
I was actually it surprised me and then it didn't.
Yeah, I'm whatever. He
Well,
dude,
dude, if the question that you asked, you're like,
well, okay, but the amount of people listen.
Out of the interwebs.
well,
The amount of people
Cody
that
asked
are
Casey, we can talk about his Wrangler.
the amount of people that are currently watching the show is different than the amount of people that are downloading it. So
Well, who gives a shit now? I mean, so Casey bought a Wrangler.
Casey and Susan, my sister-in-law, bought a Wrangler. We just finished talking about how awesome her expedition did in Big Bear. And so apparently, and Tim made the point that he posted it up on Instagram too. So,
that's true.
so apparently after that Big Bear trip, the expedition had a new sound that Casey was not excited about. And he was like, there's a knocking sound that is now scaring me. And the thing had over 200,000 miles on it. And she'd been wanting a new vehicle for a long time. And
that's what most people sell Fords, Yeah. It's like start making noises.
Yes.
What time to get rid of it?
Yes. And they bought a 2016 Wrangler JK Sahara, black with the tan interior. It's beautiful.
It looked really well maintained.
Yeah. It only had, did it have 60,000 miles on it? I think 30, maybe 60, but low miles, very low miles. And, he and I had some conversation going back and forth between the cost of this vehicle versus the cost of, to get the price down below X, you'd need to buy a vehicle that was 3 years older with 100,000 miles. Is it worth it at that point? And so they were able to work it out and get the Wrangler. And, I think they're going to use the crap out of it, right? She's never been afraid to go out and wheel. We've talked about this. She's wheeled the crap out of that expedition and kept up with us. And I think the big issue is going to be arguing about who gets to drive the Wrangler.
Yep.
I think he did say that if we do Mojave, they'll take the Wrangler instead of the ZJ,
the Jeep,
yeah.
the ZJ.
Well, I mean, you kind of want that stability, or you want to make sure you make it through. Not that there's anything that difficult, obviously, on the Mojave Trail, but Big Tasty's got a lot of rough mileage. Don't want to break down out in the middle of nowhere, end up like that Forerunner or whatever we saw.
Yes, yes.
Just bashed.
No, he said that he would save Big Tasty for the more demanding terrain.
Technical terrain.
But no, I mean that's
the 15 freeway.
Cleghorn, where I went last weekend. That would be Big Tasty territory right there.
So that's a good segue right into. Are we going to talk about Mojave? Is that something that we're thinking of doing?
We might as well.
I am assuming we're going. I am assuming. I don't know. I'm getting ready for it. I'm trying to get the truck. Well, I mean, it's ready to go now, but I'm just saying.
The truck is the least of my worries. The truck is ready to go. Camping gear, got to get that taken care of. The big thing for me right now is I don't know if Presley can handle 3 days in the desert.
Yeah, so that's the thing I'm struggling with too. Is like I don't know if I take Letty and Damien, I don't know if Damien's gonna handle the 2 days in the desert.
Yeah, it's she's.
I don't know if I take my two boys, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to handle the 2 days in the desert. How about that?
A lot of Bud Light.
And then some.
That's my struggle right now is with everything going on in the world, should we take Presley, because I want her to experience. I think when we stop at some of the points of interest and she gets to play around there with the kids and the camping, like being out in the middle of the desert, she hasn't camped with me yet, but being out in the middle of the desert with the stars, and I think she'd love that. The downside is, there's 12 hours of drive time every day to get there.
That's the thing. It's like if I bring Damien, I'm gonna have to stop like every hour. Hour 15.
Let's take that into consideration because
beer break, dude. That's
It's a Coors. It's a White Claw break.
if you've got Damien and I bring Presley and Matt's got the boys and we got some other, it becomes a little bit more family friendly and we just accept the fact that we have to stop. And if we're making 3 stops, we're not trying to cover all 120 miles in 2 days. We've got now 3 days to do it. Maybe we take a little bit slower approach and let the kids experience it.
That's true. I mean, the question, like, what's the rush, right? I mean, there's no rush.
As long as we're home by Monday. Although we have a very good guest scheduled for Monday that when they scheduled it, I don't think that they realized it was Memorial Day weekend.
Memorial Day?
So I have to verify that they want to see if they want to do that. But I mean, again, it's that catch-22, right? I want Presley and Tammy to be there and I want Presley to experience it. And but at the same time, I know that there's going to be some frustration on her part. She's going to get angry and fussy. And do we want to do that? I don't know. So, and there, in the chat, there's been some questions about the details. The details are very loose right now, and as we discussed last week and the week before,
not a very detailed podcast. Anyhow,
no.
I mean,
if you're looking for details, hey, we'll be in the Mojave sometime next month.
Exactly. Didn't really impart many details for anything.
No,
at any time.
The plan is leave Southern California Saturday morning early, 6-7 o'clock. Get out to the trailhead in Laughlin. Not stop in Laughlin. Just go straight to the trailhead.
Technically, it's still Southern California.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
listening to the. I was listening to the podcast last week. I'm like, well, it's still technically Southern California.
Yeah, you're right. It's still on that side. Anyways, go to the easternmost point of the trail. Come in about 1/3 of the way. Camp Saturday night. Go another 2/3 of the way, or 3/4 of the way. Hit Razor Road Sunday night. Spend the night at Razor Road. Tool around there, and then come home Monday morning. Those are the details. We just haven't figured out exactly how it's going to work yet.
And that's going to come up fast, dude. Literally 3 weeks from now.
Is it really 3 weeks?
Yeah, like it's close, dude.
Oh man, 1, 2. Oh man, so 2 weeks and 4 days. Damn it.
Yeah. 3 weeks from today is
Memorial Day.
Memorial Day.
Wow. Okay, so I mean, we're kind of leaning to doing it, right? At this point.
Okay, we're going.
Damn it, Jose. 1 hour 31 minutes. God damn it.
I mean, look, for me, I'm going and I'm taking the boys. Like that's already in not in stone. I mean, I'm going to go by myself if nobody else wants to go. I'm going to need help
there, bro.
I'm going to need help wrangling my kids, but it's up to you. The dilemma seems like you guys and whether you're willing to,
I'm going.
Take the kids or not,
I'm going either way. Kid or no kid, I'll be there.
Okay. Do you want to? What if you didn't bring Damien, and I needed to split my kids up? Would you take one of my kids in the cruiser?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh man, that's happening.
Like you messed up. You should have said that.
Oh man.
Oh man, you're gonna get the honorary one, whichever one that one is.
Yeah, depending on the day. Depends on the day.
It alternates. Oh man,
they ask a lot of questions.
Go
they
right.
ask a lot of questions.
Nonstop sometimes, dude. Nonstop. Why do the rocks gotta stand like that, Daddy? I don't know. How did those rocks get black?
Dude, I've been in training.
Volcano. There's a volcano out here. Yeah. There's volcanoes all over the place. When are they going to explode? It's endless. It's endless. Just turn the radio up. They'll get the hint.
Fools on you because my coworker, I get questions like that all day long.
Yes, you've told me about that guy. You told us.
I've been in training,
dude. You're doomed.
Oh man,
it's gonna be great. They're gonna want to just talk on your radio. It's gonna be awesome.
Well, so if it's all a go, which I'd say it's a very good possibility, we're looking at Saturday the 23rd, early in the morning, leaving Southern California, getting to the
So
eastern.
that means packing all your shit the Friday night.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
yeah,
You gotta go to the store, get all your stuff,
No,
wake
this
up
is
in the
like-
morning and hit the road.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
yeah,
and
like-
that's if we were to do that, we would say, okay, we're leaving here. Like I'll leave here at X time. I'll end up going up to the 10, meeting you guys someplace,
Yeah, we can meet somewhere,
and
like
then
either,
we head out. We'll make
maybe Sierra. Is that a central point? for all
no,
of
it's
us?
too because it's too far up from where we're at. We're gonna go straight out to 10, right?
Oh, we're going. Okay, so Redlands by me.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
I'm not taking the 10.
why
Take
not?
the 40 out there. You gonna take the 10?
I don't know, dude. I don't know where I'm going. Oh yeah,
No,
yeah,
no, you don't.
yeah, you're right.
You would take
Yeah.
the 40.
Yeah, 40.
So
yeah,
for me,
so we would go.
So for me, it would be the way I went last year. It's like through the back.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys suck so bad. Yeah, yes.
You're gonna take the back again and again. Where are you going this year? Oh, why is it so? I'm so easily amused. You guys, everybody just must be jealous of me. So I laugh at the dumbest shit.
So we'll meet in Barstow. Why wouldn't you just meet us in Barstow, Jose?
Because I think it's shorter for me to go through Palm Springs.
Okay. So you would go
Ludlow.
up. You would go out
Yeah,
to 10.
through Ludlow.
So you would go out
Yeah.
to 10 and meet us out like in Needles.
Exactly.
Okay. So either way, we'll plan a couple stops, and then well, I mean, Needles, that's basically the trailhead. I mean, you're gonna go all that way, the 10 out to the 95.
I mean, I don't have to go out there. I mean, it saves me like 10, 15 minutes, right? I mean, I can backtrack a little bit. That way we all just meet like in Victorville or something, or Barstow, wherever we want to meet.
Yeah, well, I would say, yeah, we all roll together, but I guess the plan would be.
I mean, you know me, dude. I'll just I'll
You'll
hit
just
hyperspeed.
Yeah,
and
you'll
then I'll just meet
ditch
you at
us.
the trailhead.
Yeah, I can't do the Kessel run in 12 parsecs or whatever.
Dude, last year, me and Cody were heading out there. Dude, we were hauling ass.
Oh,
on the
that's
lake.
right. That Friday night when we were meeting everybody out
Yeah.
there, we were
Moving.
we were moving. We were doing some speed. That's right.
Dude, I went through the middle of nowhere by myself, dude. I had never driven through there.
Yeah.
Wherever I went through, it's like it was kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I think we should all meet up and caravan out together, and we just say, all right, we're going to be at the trailhead at X time, and that's when we're heading out.
Agreed.
Damn it. So that means I need to start mapping now.
Does it take you 3 weeks to map? I mean, we've done it like a half a dozen times already. It's pretty
Well,
much.
but
the same.
we're-
Unless I guess the stops, right?
Yeah, we're doing it
'cause
differently now.
If you figure we hit the trailhead at noon,
Yeah.
which is probably
That's
about
late.
right.
If we left here at
At 7.
No, dude,
Yeah,
we need to be on the freeway like at 6 a.m.
Okay, the trailhead at 11. Like
10 or 11, because how long is it gonna take us to get to the trailhead? 10 o'clock?
Jose, I seen how fast the cruiser goes. You ain't getting there in 4 hours.
You don't think so?
No way, dude. You don't have mock capability. Not at all. Come
Oh,
on.
hey Matt. So I've been binging a Star Trek.
No.
Oh.
Have
Oh,
you
yeah.
really?
Which
yeah.
one? Next gen?
The Next Generation.
Yeah, next gen's the best.
I'm almost
Next
done
Gen
with
is-
the first season. But yeah, it's just funny how they went from like warp 0.9 something from the first episode. I'm like in that warp zone. I can't even hit warp 9. Like
No, oh no, you're warp.
I'm
You're
like I
warp-
can't even hit warp 1, dude.
Yeah, you're warp. Okay, if you're gonna go with the Star Trek scale, you're like a warp 5 capable science vehicle or science craft. That's what the cruiser is. But the cruiser is very capable, so you
You'll
always
get
have
there.
need, you
Yeah.
always have need for science and scientists, maybe some engineers that are on that ship. That's the cruiser. Now the Frontier, that's like
That's the Enterprise, bro.
that's like the Enterprise. Exactly.
Yeah.
I got to get somewhere. I got to get some shit done and make some shit happen at Mach 9 or Warp 9. And then, you show up to help clean up after what the Frontier did. So,
you know what
that's
episode I
how-
just finished watching? The episode where they find Captain Picard's old ship.
Oh, the Stargazer.
Yes.
I was almost embarrassed.
No, you guys are.
What it was.
We just lost so many listeners. So
That's all right.
So going
That's
to
all right.
Going back to the Mojave Trail.
going back.
Yeah,
so
let's go back Mojave Trail.
so looking at
Hey, real quick on Mojave. Jeep needs to step up their game on spell check because on Twitter, they're like promoting like employee pricing for their Rubicon trim level Jeeps, right? And they have that new Mojave edition.
yeah.
They spell Mojave with an H, not a J. It's like, dude, what?
What's
Like,
maybe the Twitter
no,
the person
but
that
it's-
manages
it's
the
what-
Twitter is Hispanic and like that's how you pronounce it.
that's even more reason why it should be spelled correctly.
Or I'm sorry, maybe they're white and they just thought, well, that's how you must pronounce it.
I'm just saying, if you're gonna promote like your Mojave edition,
What's Mojave?
Mojave?
Is that a
What's
Mojave
Mojave?
edition?
And think about that. They had to physically type that, and spell correct was like, you don't
Spell
want
correct
that.
was like, don't you mean
Don't
with a
you,
J? No,
you don't want that,
no,
do
this is
you?
the Mojave. This is the
Um,
Mojave edition.
So look, so the map says Google Maps says from Eastvale to the trailhead is 3 hours and 39 minutes. So
That's 4 hours.
So
and
4
30
hours
minutes for
was
me.
4 hours was stops and cruising speed.
Yeah.
Right. So if we left at 7, that's noon o'clock ish, right? And then
That's late, dude. That's late.
It doesn't matter. We got 3 days, Jose.
yeah,
Easy, easy. USS Enterprise. All right.
and then
Look, if I drive fast enough, I'll get there somehow I'll get there tomorrow. Like I'll leave my house in 3 weeks and I'll get there 3 weeks in the past. That's time
Yeah, it's
travel.
gonna be like that episode when they had that guy come aboard and he was like time traveling.
okay,
Oh,
can we
yeah,
can we
that's a good one,
stop?
too.
Can we please stop? I'm a sci-fi nerd. I just don't want to talk about Star Trek.
all
So
right, fun police.
Yeah.
Go on.
There he is.
Let's
There
pull up
he
some-
is.
Let's pull
Oh.
up some spreadsheets. We got some maps. Actually, I like maps. Go ahead and pull out your maps.
I am looking at maps right now. So people on the YouTube,
I can't.
I know you
Well,
can't.
that's those people. What about me?
So looking at the trail, we're going to have to figure out because we've always stopped at our normal campsite in the middle.
Right, we're not getting there by
No.
sundown.
Well, no, there's no need to. There's no need to if we're going to take a third day, right? So we would
mean,
want to.
Frontier probably get there by
You could.
sundown.
I think it totally could. But we're going to want to map it out to where it's 3 full day, 3 good days of travel and not just an overnight trip. So
Yeah, I think I'm
Right.
gonna request that Tuesday off to recover.
recover from what?
Yeah,
A lot of White Claws on that trip, bro.
that's multiple nights of White Claws.
Yeah, that's like 2 or
That's
3 variety packs at minimum.
That's it. That's the cruiser full of White Claws and no
Exactly.
sleeping bags, nothing. Just sleep in an empty White Claw.
I'll
case.
sleep on the empty White Claw boxes, dude.
Uh,
All right. Well, we'll have to
Yeah,
figure
okay,
we'll have to
so-
figure that out. And we talked about this a little bit. If we were to do that, we're going to need gas. At least everybody has to at least bring 5 gallons of gas.
Well, I'm gonna bring 10.
Yeah.
I have those two 5.
well, that's something that we will have to do is prior to hitting the trailhead, we got to find a gas station. I think there's one
Yeah,
at the
there's-
AV, right?
Yeah, there's one
Well,
right
just-
there with the gas. There's a gas station and a grocery store.
we just
probably
won't
meet.
put it in Matt's truck because if you like
All
gas,
right.
Yes.
All right. Hey,
By the time you get to the campsite, you've only got
Whatever,
2
like
gallons
me.
of gas left.
but that's probably the best place to meet up. Whoever's going, or I mean, are we? Is this just a trail chaser thing, or we have?
I don't know. We've been talking about it for 3 weeks. So here's
So we're putting it out there.
yeah, we're putting it
Are we
out there.
taking responsibility for breaking COVID silent, like
Well, that's a whole nother factor. Is what's the world going to be like that weekend? You know what I mean? Is the world going to be?
I don't think it's going to be any different than what it is now. I mean, what's the difference?
Yeah, I don't know. So we will
The fact that we're going to be sponsored by Lysol and we'll be spraying every.
just don't drink it.
Spraying it into our
Just
Oh yeah, we're gonna be drinking Lysol shots. my president said, disinfect from within.
yeah, Lysol shots.
you bring the Lysol shots, I'll bring the Pine Sol shots. Straight up.
Oh man. So here's what we'll do. We'll make a final decision before we record next Monday. So that gives me time to figure out what I'm gonna do with the girls and how that's gonna play out. Jose can have that conversation and figure out what he's gonna do. But we'll make a final decision by next Monday when we record, and at that point, I will have I'll make a registration like we've done in the past, where we're going to limit it to X amount of vehicles, and we'll put out a registration and say, okay, once the vehicles are once that many spots are filled up, then we're done, because as we've experienced, when you get to that 15, 20 mark on vehicles on that trail, it gets pretty hard to wrangle everybody.
So that Mountain Hatch snow expedition we went on,
yes,
dude, there was like 20 something trucks,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
it was too insane. It was just too many trucks to keep everything in order.
Yeah, so somewhere between 12 and 15, I'm comfortable with.
So at that point, we got to register with BLM.
Oh, yep.
I'll have to look. Yeah. Well, and that brings up another fact. So if we have to register with BLM, what are they going to say?
What if they're closed?
Yeah.
What if they're like,
or just park, like 20 feet away from us? Like, oh no, we're not with that group.
Well, there's a couple spots here where there's more than one campsite in a short distance from each other. Maybe that's the half.
I don't mind. I don't mind paying the fee or whatever. That's not the issue. It's no, that trail's closed that weekend. You guys aren't going to be allowed to do it.
Yeah, that's my concern.
That's not, because if we're a small group, we could still do it. Like, what are they going to do? Like, send the National Guard after us?
Well, there could be
kind of fun.
Yes.
There could be rangers. There could be rangers out there that are saying, "Hey, man, you got to get out of here." You know what I mean?
Right. And at that point, you're halfway out there. It's already a good trip. You got to get out of there, right? That's all I'm saying.
So yeah, let's give us a week. We'll figure that out, and then I know there are some people that have been talking to us about it for since last year. So we'll take that into consideration as we start doing this. But once there's a handful of people I know will go no matter what. Like the core group of people that are going to go. So once we know the details on that, we'll say, okay, there's this many open spots, and anybody first come first serve as far as registration goes. You know what I mean?
So if you go to the BLM and you go, hey, I want to get a permit for the Mojave Trail, and they go, oh, that's closed that weekend, you can't go. I meant the Mojave Trail.
Mojave.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. The Mojave Trail.
But that's definitely going to be a factor, is whether or not that trail is open. And so then if that trail's not open, we need to come up with an alternative. There are trails.
Yeah, it's called 50 yards north, whatever, of that road. I mean, come on. There's there's got to be a way.
They
can't close that. How do you close that?
It's BLM land. That's what happens. I've got a trip mapped out that I've been wanting to do for a long time. That's essentially, and I got to try to find it. It's essentially a trip from Pioneer Town up into Big Bear, spending a night near Baldwin Lake. Then from Baldwin Lake doing Gold Mountain, through the Squeeze, through all of 3N16, all that area that we've done over towards Butler Peak, and then spend the night, and then go on the other side of the lake and do Clark's Grade all the way down into Angeles Oaks as one long trip.
I thought Jose couldn't do the squeeze.
I don't.
He
know.
just like.
But
the
there's
squeeze.
but the squeeze is, fortunately, with the squeeze there's a bypass. Like there's you can meet on the outside of the squeeze. And I don't know that any of us can do Gold Mountain without sliders either. I mean, Gold Mountain is not an easy trail. It's
I can do it.
Yeah. Oh, because you got sliders. Yeah. So yeah, and Tim just said on the live feed, come out to Arizona. Everything's wide open. It's because it's still the Wild West in Arizona. There's still
there's no. It's like there's like a sheriff. It's like one guy, and he's got a badge, and he just tries to keep everybody from
Arizona,
each other.
Arizona Dome.
Yeah, you can tell exactly. You know what? I've been looking for Thunderdome in California like an idiot, and everybody knows that shit's probably in Arizona.
Yeah, you just got to move to like Yucca. That's what's the one of those ones? There's what's that one down in the bottom there? It's Yuma. You got to move to Yuma.
Kingman.
No, Yuma's because it's Yuma.
Oh, no.
Yuma, you're like 20 minutes away from Mexico, 20 minutes away from California. Like you're right there in the corner.
Segway 310 to Yuma. That's a great movie, by the way.
Yes, yeah, it is. Good movie.
How about 545 to Kingman? Is that one? That pretty
No,
good?
515 to Phoenix is better.
All right.
So I will make a point this week to reach out to BLM and try to find out about the Mojave. If it is,
Oh, you're gonna call the government right now?
yes. If it is, hey, I pay my taxes. They have to answer the phone. If it
So
is,
I'm on the website right now. If you want to
what's it
say
say?
the news, it's currently closed.
Yeah, see, that's
Mojave
Open
Mojave's
up
currently
mid-May, I
closed.
thought. Right?
It doesn't give a date. The fee that we need to get that permit, it's $91.
yeah, $91. But if it's closed, it doesn't matter. They're not going to issue a fee. I mean, they're not going to issue a permit.
So that when the BLM comes out to you and they're like, "What are you guys doing on this trail? It's closed." I don't have to listen to you because you're not
closed. You're not even
you're
open. You're not even supposed to be out here, bro.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
I'm gonna let you have that conversation, and I'm gonna go pack my stuff up.
Hey, keep your distance, sir. We're trying to social distance around here.
Yeah. Did you just cough on me?
So I
Yeah.
mean, so that's a serious thing. So I mean, we definitely don't want to plan 15 rigs and 25 people or so to go out to a trail to get 15 minutes in and get turned around. You know what I mean? I to your point, Matt, if it was only 3 of us, it would be whatever. We'll chance it. We'll work our way around it. But you know what I mean? That's a big bummer for if we've got a group of people that big.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the more people we have, the more attention we're going to draw to ourselves, right? I mean, if you see a train of cars going down the Mojave Trail,
And then, there's going to be some Jeeps there. They're going to be Jeeps there. So they're going to be smoking and stuff's going to be coming out of them and dropping parts.
Yep. Well, I think, you know what? We plan on doing it, and hopefully in the next week or two, everything's supposed to start opening up. I would think, a trail out in the middle of nowhere would be one of the first things that they would, allow or whatever. If not, then
We have to have an alternative ready to go.
I guess. I mean, is there wheeling out there in Arizona, Tim? Like
There
I don't want to go too deep into Arizona, mind you.
So in Arizona, there is
Obvious reasons.
there's some good trails near Parker and Havasu. There's a place out there called the Desert Bar, where you can wheel your way. Yeah, so there's literally a bar in the middle of the desert, and it's only open on certain weekends. I would assume this one it will be, maybe not. I don't know. But they have everything's run off generators and solar panels. They have live bands. They do alcoholic drinks. They do barbecue. They do the whole deal. and you can get there by service roads, but the best way to get there is to go back trails, and you can wheel all the way back to the desert bar.
That
That's our
sounds
plan. Yeah,
So
we
I-
have plan B.
I bring my kids right into that bar.
Oh yeah,
Hey, guys.
it's family
Saddle
friendly.
up.
It's totally family friendly. It's there's big old outdoor patios, places to sit. It's we just took when we were out there a couple months ago, we took Presley there and all the kids. It's fine. What about Ocotillo? You think Ocotillo also BLM land?
I think so.
Probably.
I don't know. I think so.
Yeah, I think it is. So, okay, well, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, we want to do Mojave. We got to figure it out and then decide if it makes sense to go with the closures and stuff. And you know, can we do it and still be good citizens following the rules? So I guess next week, anybody that's,
There's a first time for everything. Following rules. Look at me, Mom. I'm following rules now.
You gotta start somewhere, dude.
Ooh, John says Stanislaus Forest is handing out $5,000 tickets on closed trails. Boom.
Yeah, it's a little rich for my blood.
Yeah.
I would just give them the frontier. Call it even. Come and give me a ride home.
So, I mean, there's obviously a lot of factors. So here's, like I said, what we'll do is we will research what our options are for the Mojave. If it's possible to do, then we will plan it. If it's not possible, we will look at an alternate adventure somewhere out there. I don't know where else we could go that's not. I mean, there's a lot of places out there. There's not many that we know, though. So
I'll be right back.
We'd go party in Huntington Beach, dude. You seen how that?
Yeah.
They're just
they, don't
going
even,
after.
they don't even care.
No, at all.
Well, what about
Screw.
what about Glamis? And that area down there.
That's BLM, right?
Damn it, it is. It is.
Yeah, you got to pay to get into that place.
Yep.
No, that would be fun too, but man, that's gonna be a lot of work on the vehicles, you know, just being in sand.
Yeah, well, I mean, depending on what we did, we wouldn't have to go bouncing on the dunes. You know, we could keep it mellow on the trails. There's that whole wash, that dirt wash down by the drainage ditch that you could tool around in. I mean, there's plenty of stuff to do. You know, I don't know if it would be great for 15 vehicles, but regardless, it's BLM land, like you said, so it's not.
We'd be pulling people out.
Oh,
We'd
yeah.
get a half mile in, and it would just be pulling people out because you know, especially when you're in the sand, you need to keep distance so you can carry your own momentum and you know you're going to get backed up on one dune, and then everybody's going to try and make it to the top or get stuck halfway. And then
well, look, dude, I've got the perfect Jeep recovery vehicle out here in my driveway, and we'll make sure that Tim makes it out safely.
Yeah, you sold a Toyota, dude.
Jerk faces. What about Dumont Dunes? Is Dumont Dunes BLM land?
Yes.
Damn. Yep. BLM management. So all of the good places are BLM.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it really depends on when everything opens up again, right? I think they were saying May 15th, but I don't know if that's a California thing or is that a BLM thing. I don't know when.
What was that? I think one of you sent that link to is like a mine halfway up to 395, 2 or 3 hours up to 395. Or maybe it's just something I saw on YouTube, but there's some kind of mine you can drive into.
Yeah, that was
like 2 miles into a mountain.
Yeah, I sent that link. It was a video that a tire manufacturer did with the LGE team to kind of highlight something they were doing on a trip, and that's a good opportunity. Maybe
Yeah, we haven't really gone up the 395. There's so much stuff to explore out there.
Casey is suggesting Rattlesnake Canyon. Where's that at?
Yeah, I saw that too. That's
By Python Alley.
right next door. Python Alley. That's like Landers or Johnson Valley. I think it's similar to like Pioneer Town or something.
Yeah, it's off the 247. Looks like 247 heading south towards Lake Baldwin area.
Yeah, it seemed like there was some pretty cool, things to see. But I don't think that's a very long trail. I think it's just like an afternoon type of deal.
No, but if we were going to do that area, Johnson Valley, there's
1,000 miles of trails to do where we could maybe instead of doing a point to point trip, this is a camp in a specific location and go out and do a trail for the day, do a trail the next day and do a trail the third day. You know what I mean?
No, Mojave. Do it. Just do it. And you know what? Think about it.
Are you going to pay the tickets? So if Matt is officially going to pay all of the tickets.
Yeah, I'll pay all the tickets with my magical credit card, and I'll just wave them at the tickets, and they'll just go away. What about the guy? There's the dude that we saw at our normal campsite who was running. Remember, it was like dusk. He was just running. It was what's his name? The sprinter.
I know Usain Bolt.
Huh?
Usain Bolt?
Yeah, Usain Bolt was out there just running in the middle of nowhere. Trippy as hell. And then what about the guy that me and Jose saw last year? We're gonna make sure it's okay. What if he's waiting for us? That could be bad, actually, Jose.
Yeah, I don't. He's gonna be like, I remember you guys. I remember you guys.
They always come back.
He's sitting there with a 2x4 in one hand, just smacking me like, oh, John Badham this year.
Yeah.
That damn Frontier.
So,
what about those guys?
I don't
gotta make sure.
I'm not. I am not. Those guys aren't going to pay the ticket either. So I'm not too worried about it. So I guess the answer is I don't know. I guess the answer is we're going to have to do some research over the next few days and figure out if there is anything open. I think Jose, was it you that mentioned the 15th? I feel like that was the.
I hear that date being passed around, but I don't know if it's a California thing.
Jose's usually right about this stuff.
Not really.
Oh, come on. If you start saying it, it makes it's like the secret, you start talking about it. It becomes
it's gonna manifest itself.
Enough of us start talking about it. Come on.
But I know as far as California goes, like they already started opening up some stuff, or they're gonna open up by end of the week.
Dude, we were all over Big Bear 2 weeks ago, right?
It was packed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So according to this site, for California, Newsom issued the stay-at-home order on March 19th, and it has no end date set. However, on May 1st, he said that he's days, not weeks away from beginning to lift some restrictions to the state stay-at-home order. On May 4th, he said beaches in all cities of Laguna Beach and San Clemente in Orange County can open on a limited basis. And on May 4th, the state announced some retailers, clothing, florists, and bookshops will be allowed to reopen with curbside pickup. So it's definitely starting to.
Yeah, it's not boiling over. I think there was like a boiling point where everyone's starting to reach. Like California was going to, burst at the seams, but I think they're going to have to start relieving some of that pressure.
And the same website says in Arizona, they just said, go ahead and eat each other. Whoever wins, wins.
No, that was Alex Jones that said he's going to eat his neighbors.
So we'll have to look. I think it would be prudent for us to have a backup plan if Mojave's not available. So let's just plan on having some conversations between now and next week and say, okay, here's our plan. And if we have a plan, if we're going to do something, then I'll put up a registration form that night on the live feed, and we'll go from there. We'll just So, but yeah, at the end of the day, I would love to do Mojave. I just we have to be cautious of what's
smart
going on.
about yeah, be smart about it.
Yeah, and I swear that the biggest concern I have is getting everybody out there, having a ranger stop us and making us all turn around and get back on the road. Then what do we do? You know what I mean? And then we just spent 3 hours on the 40 to turn around and drive 3 hours back on the 40. I mean, that would be just a horrible day.
I agree.
I would just make a run for it.
Yeah, but you're in the Nissan. You'd be fine. They're not going to catch you. What's Jose going to do?
Yeah, what am I going to do, man?
Jose's going to
sacrifice me to the Rangers.
Yeah. Get him, Jose, and then he takes off.
Yeah.
Matt's already got a history of just taking off.
Taking it.
Oh.
So good night, everybody. Thank you for the. Matt, have you visited Hollywood lately? So seriously, everybody that did join tonight, thank you for joining. Appreciate the conversations. We will be coming up with a plan for our trip if there's going to be one in the next week or so, and we'll go from there. But we're going to end the live feed right now, and appreciate everybody's time. Please send in the reviews, subscribe on the podcast feeds and on YouTube. And
like and subscribe on YouTube.
Like and subscribe. Our subscribers, since we've been doing these live feeds, our subscribers has continued to rise. Just because there's that much more activity, and we're going to keep doing it. But send us your voicemails, 951-394-DIRT, and emails at thetrailchasers@gmail.com. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
I'm Presley, and thank you for listening. Thank you to Next and Tire. Thank you to Icon. If you want to be on the show, call 951-394-DIRT. Thank you to Ryan Torino with all of the music.